Hi, I'm Jessica Lahr, and welcome to another edition of FLX Weekly here at FingerLakes1.com. It's Wednesday, August 2nd, and in studio joining me is Jim Sinicropi and Josh Durso.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, it hasn't rained in 4 or 5 days, so that's
amazing.
Change of weather
Yeah.
has been refreshing.
Feels like summer.
Oh, it's been
I don't know if
beautiful.
refreshing is the word, but drier.
It is though because it had been so wet for so long that it was like anything. 90 degrees and dry is a welcome change.
And it hasn't been 90. It's been,
not even
it's
close.
been pretty comfortable, especially at night. And,
Yes.
It's just a matter of if it's going to last, and it doesn't look like it's going to necessarily last. And the long-term forecast into August doesn't look that great. But we'll take it as it comes, right? You want me to give you this weekend's weather outlook?
Let's take a look at this weekend.
Sure. Okay. So this weekend, starting with Thursdays, we're going to probably get some rain, like a 60% chance of rain, thunderstorms as the front moves through, and then the front continues to move through Friday. 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly before noon, but then becoming partly sunny with a high near 86. Lingering rain showers, though, will exit by midnight, then mostly cloudy overnight with a low of 64. And then it gets like September-like.
Yeah.
Saturday, 30% chance of showers, otherwise partly sunny with a high near 72.
Oh,
72 for the first week of August, which I don't mind 72
I don't mind
all the
72.
time.
Yeah.
I know a lot of boaters and swimmers wanted a little warmer, but 72 is pretty good. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low of 59. Again, wonderful sleeping conditions.
Yep.
Sunday, 30% chance of showers, partly sunny with a high near 75. And then heading into early next week, it looks like a 50% chance of showers on Monday, mostly cloudy, high near 73, so it'll be continued cool. So, again, another good weekend. Thursday, Friday, probably going to get wet, but for the most part, the weekend should be dry, cool, and comfortable.
Yes.
Perfect for going to festivals or camping at Watkins Glen for the NASCAR races, which we're going to talk about all that coming up here in the episode. So a pretty good weekend on tap, unless you really like to sweat it out there on the on the boats and beaches.
Yes. Yeah. Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Good to hear. What do we have going on in the news?
So a few interesting stories. For those who are going to be going out this weekend, maybe down to Titanic Falls, the State Park beach is closed due to blue-green algae blooms that were spotted a couple days ago. No word on when it'll reopen, but beaches across the lake on the other side of Cayuga Lake in Aurora and Union Springs are also closed for the same reason. It's kind of spotty throughout the Finger Lakes. Every lake, for the most part, has had some sort of issue with blue-green algae at some point this year. The best idea is just to call ahead if you're going someplace, if you want to make sure that the beach is definitely going to be open.
Right.
That's just the safe way to go about it.
Yes.
Dangerous, though, the blue-green algae.
Yeah. It's something that there was just a study done down in Cornell, and the state is spending more money on it now to try and understand what things are leading up to it. Because remember, last year, the problem was much worse, but they thought a lot of that was made worse by how warm and dry it was.
Yeah.
Well, now we've had the complete opposite, cool and wet, and the problem keeps persisting. So it's one of those things where they're trying to understand.
Do they treat it when they spot it? Do they treat it?
I'm not really sure.
It seems to me like you dump a little like chlorine or something like that in there, like,
It's ultimately caused by the stagnant edges of the bodies of water.
But did this exist 20, 30 years ago? And we just didn't know about it?
I would assume yes, probably. Yeah.
No, it just seems to be a phenomenon in recent years, and it's,
It's certainly made it's a big inconvenience because, these beaches the beaches in Aurora and Union Springs have closed and opened almost a half dozen times, I think, this year already.
Wow.
So it's just kind of like this back and forth. And it seems to be that certain areas are having the issue more than other areas, which means that there has to be some sort of trigger that's causing it to repeatedly happen in these areas.
And I think the danger comes if you happen to ingest it. when you're
Right.
swimming, you get a little mouthful of water. There's a little algae in there. Next
And not
thing you know,
only
you
that,
get
but
really
they also encourage it's actually more worrisome for pets, because we know if you happen to find yourself around some algae, not to open your mouth or to ingest it, but a dog, probably not as much.
Yeah, my stupid dog drinks like out of mud puddles, and if
Exactly.
there's water, he's slopping it up into his fat little face.
See, that is the
Georgie.
concern right
Yeah.
there.
Yes. Yeah.
So some other news, the Partnership for Ontario County is set to receive $122,000 as part of Governor Cuomo's $4 million announcement for child advocacy centers across New York. They were the top winner in the region. The money is ultimately going to fund staff and different pieces of technology that go into these facilities.
Now, a couple, or last week we had in Megan Peter and DeVol, what's the woman's name? Ashley DeVoli.
Ashley DeVoli.
And Sheriff Tim Luce was in talking about the Child Advocacy Center in Seneca County. So this funding just for Ontario County?
Correct. Like they weren't a part of this round of funding.
Right.
And I'm assuming it's because it's a new Child Advocacy Center, this particular one in Seneca County, or it's newer, so probably wasn't around when the application process happened.
If you want to
Maybe in
learn
the
more
next
about
couple
it, it's last week's Weber This Week show. If you go to fingerlakes1.tv or just go to Finger Lakes 1 and search for Weber This Week, or also on YouTube and Facebook. But you can watch that episode. It's pretty interesting, the purpose of these centers and what they're doing at these centers to make things easier for children who may... It's not even that... Sometimes children are told to tell a story about abuse. That's not true for the purposes of a domestic issue between the mother and father.
Right.
So these child advocacy centers are really a place to go where the child can feel comfortable and enough to tell their stories separate from the parents and get to the bottom of what's really going on and then get help. So it's good that the funding is going to Ontario County, and good that this one's opening up in Waterloo.
Absolutely.
In Seneca County. So
the centers in Cuba County are also getting a little over $8,000 as part of this round of funding too, but that isn't for staffing. It is just for new equipment, new technology in their facilities. So Seneca County in this round was missed, but Cayuga and Ontario County are going to be benefiting. And I think the most interesting story of all the news topics that have popped up in the last couple of days, the stretch on State Route 96 going through Victor. Ever notice how incredibly difficult it is to get through when you hit it during a time when there's a lot of traffic?
Talking about like downtown Victor area or
the
beyond
6
it?
mile stretch from when you enter Victor until you get, I'll say
Past
basically
Eastview?
like the 490 throughway interchange.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a mess around rush hour.
Yeah, so that stretch of 6 miles has become one of the most difficult commutes for people who live in Ontario County, and the people who live in Victor have basically complained and complained and complained.
They get on
about
the
it to no
throughway
end.
and spend the money and
Right.
drive a little longer because it's shorter than going the short distance.
Right.
Yeah.
You're traveling further and you're paying, but it's quicker because it takes 20 minutes to get through 6 miles because of some poorly placed stoplights and things like that. So,
Well, the Victor was a small town, village / farming community at one point when that downtown area came about. And then, you had all the development on the other side of it, on the western side of Victor, with the mall and all the shopping centers and the connections with 490 and everything. So, it's something that needs to be addressed.
So they put a survey up. So they put out a survey to residents, and within just a few days of putting the survey up, they had 1,700 responses.
Wow.
That's how many. And it isn't just people. I mean, it was funny because a lot of the feedback was coming from people who live in Canandaigua, or people because that commute from Canandaigua to
The
say you're going
490,
to
pick up 490.
say you're just going to even the other side of Victor.
Yeah.
You may contemplate taking the throughway from 44 or 43 to 45 instead of
Now, the
muscling through.
opposite side of this, too, is that a lot of those downtown Victor smaller businesses or even some of the bigger shopping chains, they might not necessarily want to stop that traffic. If they do like you go to a lot of towns where you have the business or the bypass.
Yep.
If people are bypassing these businesses all of a sudden, that's less potential traffic.
Right.
So there is two sides to it, but obviously the major problem is...
Well, there was that story earlier in the year we ran from the Auburn Citizen, I believe, that looked at the Auburn's downtown impact when the arterial was put in.
Right.
And that was put in 50, 60 years ago, but it's the same concept. You know, do you want to speed people around or do you want to make them trudge through?
Right.
And maybe that has some spillover effect. That said, a lot of the complaints on social media, people pulling out of those small businesses that you're referring to, having to wait like 8, 9, 10 minutes just to be able to pull out because of how congested it all becomes during rush hour. Those are the kinds of things they're trying to study and trying to fix.
So stay tuned, right?
Yep. Lots of other news, of course, on FingerLakes1.com, including an interesting look at some early governor talk about who might be running in 2018 for New York State governor. A senator, Stephanie Miner, mayor of Syracuse, is also considering a primary run against Governor Cuomo. Would be really, really interesting. Lots of other news, too. FingerLakes1.com. We'll have the latest.
Great. Sounds good. Thanks, Josh. Well, let's take a look at what's going on in the Finger Lakes this weekend. The big event of the weekend that draws thousands to the region is, of course, NASCAR in Watkins Glen. It returns for a full weekend of racing and activities. Jim will have all the details later in sports, but if you aren't heading downtown to the Glen, there's plenty to do. The annual Sauerkraut Festival runs Friday through Sunday in Phelps, which features tons of family activities and lots of sauerkraut, of course, with a giant parade on Saturday at 4 p.m. You can get the entire schedule at phelpsny.com, newyork.com.
They don't make any sauerkraut in Phelps anymore. They used to make
don't.
more sauerkraut in Phelps than anywhere in the country.
They don't make any?
Yeah, maybe in the world. They don't make any anymore. No, it part of it got sold off to Seneca Foods in Waterloo, and then part of it got moved to Shortsville and Gorham. And at this moment, unless I'm mistaken, if you're watching from Phelps and I'm wrong, I don't think they make any sauerkraut in Phelps. But they still have the festival as a nod to their heritage, and it's really one of the coolest summer festivals in the region that you can go to. Great big parade on Saturday, like a huge parade, and then all sorts of sauerkrauty stuff. And
sauerkrauty stuff.
Yeah, so it's good. Head out there if you get a chance to Phelps.
Love it. Yes. And one of our favorites, the 25th Annual Garlic Festival, is Saturday and Sunday at Fox Run Vineyards on Route 14 in Penn Yan.
It's one of your favorites?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been.
I love garlic, so you can't
I do
go
like
wrong.
Garlic as well.
Yeah, you have to go. You're Italian. Come on. Garlic Festival?
Yeah, that would be cool. It's in Penn Yan, right?
It's in Penn Yan at Fox Run Vineyards. The garlic growers and local vendors will be offering a wide range of products such as sauces and spices, pottery, local farmstead cheeses, homemade ice cream, handcrafted jewelry, in addition to live music and garlic-inspired cooking demonstrations. And, of course, wine tasting by the glass or the bottle.
If you're tasting by the bottle, that's not tasting.
Holy crap. That is a lot of tasting.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, that's long running, 25 years.
Yeah, yeah. And they have parking all set up behind the vineyards, so you get to kind of walk through some of the vineyards to go to, the festival itself, and it's a fun event. So, also this weekend, the annual Paddle Keuka 5K with kayaks and paddleboards crossing Keuka Lake is on Saturday. Take a behind-the-scenes tour of Rose Hill Mansion in Geneva on Saturday. Music in the park in Hammondsport on Friday and Saturday, as well as classic motorcycle weekend at the Glenn Curtis Museum in Hammondsport. And it's the first Friday of the month, which means another Geneva night out from 5 to 8 in downtown Geneva. Lots going on in Geneva.
Yeah, it's a really busy weekend right here in the middle of summer, first weekend of August.
Yep.
I want to also remind folks about we talked about it last week, but tickets are now on sale for the big black tie and gown masquerade gala at Bottomless Brewing coming up in October. It would be Saturday, October 28th, an evening event at 8 p.m. You can get your advance tickets on sale by calling 315-568-2200, and that's to benefit the Seneca Housing, who will be using the funds to build veteran housing. So once again, 315-568-2200. Tickets on sale now, and that does sell out, so you might want to call if you want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Okay, well, let's take a look at our top local photos from the past week.
Okay.
First up, Dan Braverman spotted this crayfish peeking out of a hole he dug himself in front of Braverman Auto Sales in Waterloo last week.
Look at that guy.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Look at that guy. That's when you know it has been a wet year.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
He looks serious.
Looks delicious.
Oh, jeez. Shelly Lannon sent us this shot of a pair of does pausing before crossing the railroad tracks on Phelps Junction Road last Wednesday evening.
That's really nice. Really nice one. It seems like she's very close to those deer.
It does. It does.
They're looking at her.
Yeah.
I was going to say, people have been submitting photos, have been getting really lucky with getting the animals to look directly at them. I believe last week we had the cow.
Cows.
The
yes.
cows looking directly at the lens.
Yes.
It's
You're
amazing.
right.
Those animals are getting smart.
They want residuals.
They're figuring
Yeah,
it
that's
out.
right. And Jenna Aiken also spotted a pair of fawns near the entrance of Montezuma National Wildlife Refuge on Friday evening.
It's also pretty cool. Couple youngsters.
Oh,
Yeah. These deer are
I
a little
love
less
that.
focused.
Yeah.
Not quite staring directly.
Well, they're young. They
They're
don't
young.
know the danger yet.
Sally Mannion snapped this shot of the arched flower garden on the north end of Seneca Lake.
You
in
guys seen
Geneva
this
over
one
the weekend.
in Geneva?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. It's kind of
Really
new,
cool.
right? Out there in the park along
Yes.
the lakefront park in Geneva.
Yep. And I haven't seen it up close. I see it from the road from 5 and 20. But it's a neat little
I
structure.
had originally thought it was like a prop for the Muscle Man when I
Oh,
first
really?
saw it, but now I guess it's a permanent flower garden. It's nice, very nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
very cool. Yep. Rachel Burkholder captured these rose blooms in Fayette that are extra fragrant and beautiful thanks to the extra rain this season.
Mm-hmm.
That's really pretty.
And it's a big bloom right there.
Mm-hmm. Early Sunday morning, the replica 1862 schooner Lois McClure makes its way through Lock 27 in Lyons, heading west towards Tonawanda before heading back east, as seen here in this photo by Robert Stopper.
Yeah, so if that hasn't stopped in your canal harbor in your town on the way out, it will probably stop on the way back, on its way back to Vermont. So
That's cool.
It's a cool little schooner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure is. Mark George sent us this photo of the sunset over the hills of Yates County near Penn Yan on Sunday night. Oh, wow.
Well done.
That's cool.
Well,
Now, is that an effect from the camera, or is that really how it looked live?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong girl, but that's
I don't know
cool.
the phenomenon that causes that beam of light there, but yeah, definitely a pretty cool picture.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Dennis Scannell was out enjoying the sunshine on Sunday afternoon at Boaters Beach on the north end of Seneca Lake. That's about right. Yep.
enjoy
Yeah,
it, folks.
Boats tie off
I know.
together, they connect to each other. So, and then you're doing some grilling, you're doing some drinking, you're just doing some wading around in the water. Hopefully, no blue-green algae.
Yeah, exactly. It's so nice and sandy there. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Don't even need your water shoes. Patrick Costello captured this American goldfinch zipping around in Waterloo before settling down for a snack.
I like goldfinches.
That's a cool shot. The colors.
Yeah.
If I had to rank my top 10 favorite birds, goldfinch probably comes in at around 3.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
I might go cardinal,
Yep, Cardinals first.
bluebird, goldfinch. Then after that, I don't know, but that's probably my top 3. I'll get back to you on that.
Thanks for your top 3. And finally, what a beautiful evening on Monday night as the thunder sounded in the distance, but the sun was still shining at Seneca Harbor on the south end of Seneca Lake and Watkins Glen as viewed through the lens of Rachel Burkholder.
I love
Oh my
the harbor
gosh.
down there in
I do
Watkins Glen.
too.
It's absolutely incredible.
And, this picture, you can see the landscape to the right in the distance
Yeah.
there, all lit up by the sun, and the clouds on the left. And, you can look all the way up Seneca Lake. And it's well kept down there, obviously. I like those orange flower pots and the blue benches. I mean, that's a really nice picture there. It's
It
a
is.
really nice one. But we have to choose
Our favorite
our
of
favorite
the week.
of the week. So what do you guys think?
It's tough, but
It
I
is
think
tough. There's 3 I'm debating against.
I think I'm gonna go with the beam of light picture, the one taken right before dark.
Oh, wow.
That to me was the spotlight of the week.
Okay.
That was one of my tops, but Rachel just stole it in the end.
Yeah, I was the two deer pictures, especially Shelley's, but something about this one we haven't seen one from down there yet this summer, so that's got to be it. Rachel Burkholder takes it with this fabulous shot from Watkins Glen. Good job, Rachel.
Great job, Rachel. Great job, everyone. Thank you so much for sending your photos in to us. If you'd like to send your photos from across the region, click the link in the Submit Content section at the bottom right side of our homepage, or you can tag us on Instagram or send them to us on Facebook.
Any old way. We will get our hands on them one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, send them in so that we can show them on the show. So anyway, what's going on in sports, Jim?
For this time of year, you won't get a busier sports week than we got going on here.
Oh.
Usually, once high school sports end in the spring and college basketball and lacrosse season ends and everything, it really does slow down. But not this weekend, thanks mostly to the fact that NASCAR, the NASCAR Sprint Cup and NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Schuyler County and Watkins Glen International this weekend.
Yes.
3 key races. The Finger Lakes Wine Country 100 is the first of 3 races starting at 4:45 on Friday. The NASCAR Xfinity Series Zippo 200 will run at 2 o'clock on Saturday. You can watch that on NBC Sports Network. The I Love New York 355, formerly the Cheez-It 355. It's now sponsored by the New York State Tourism Department. The I Love New York 355 is Sunday at 3 o'clock and also can be seen on NBC Sports Network. All the races and practice sessions will stream on the NBC Sports app and wrap up Sunday's action on Fox Sports 1 at 10:30 on Sunday night. So you're out busy doing stuff and you want to get a recap of all the action from the big race at the Glen, you can tune into Fox Sports 1 at 10:30 p.m. Sunday night and watch that. More information, full schedule and tickets are available at theglen.com. And it is, if you're not a race fan and you don't go down there, it just comes and goes. But there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people that come for that. And it's I have friends that go down there and camp for the weekend. And, if you have never been to a NASCAR race in person, it's better. It's not what you're thinking. It's really impressive. Everybody that's ever gone has liked it. So big one down there. Let's hope the weather holds for them. And it's really one of the few road courses on the NASCAR Sprint Cup circuit, which is pretty interesting. So. The Geneva Red Wings secured home field advantage in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League playoffs on Monday night with a dramatic comeback against Elmira at Dunfield down in Elmira. And then last night they hosted the Pioneers at McDonough Park in the one-game playoff in the first round, and they got beat pretty bad 12-2. End of the season for the Geneva Red Wings. Jessica, you were there. You were at the game, right? Yeah, it wasn't much of a game, unfortunately.
Well, I'd been wanting to take the boys, and obviously that just didn't happen. The one time we did, it was attempted, I should say. It was pouring and thundering, but we were coming out of our oldest football practice, and he said, "Mom, let's go see the game." So it was just him and I said, "All right, let's go. Perfect. We'll grab a dog and a drink and
hot dog or
canine? Yep, a hot dog." And so we did, and he has never really showed interest in baseball, so I figured, a couple innings would probably be like, "Mom, let's go." And he was really interested, and he wanted to stay till the end.
Asking questions about rules and stuff?
Yeah. And I played softball, so I know a little something about something, but it was fun, and he was asked if he wanted to do the Dizzy Bat game, that they did. So they, at the bottom of the 5th, or maybe it was the top of the 5th, they had a couple of the kids that were in the stands come down, and he went and did the Dizzy Bat race, which was cute. And then a foul ball, I think it was 8th inning, the foul ball came up right next to us, and I was a little nervous for a second there that I was going to get hit. But it just bounced off the bleachers, and he hopped below and grabbed a ball. So he was pretty excited to get some autographs after the game, and it was eventful. I'm glad that we made it.
It's a part of summer. Head out to Newark at Colburn Park, or McDonough at Geneva for some of these action. College baseball players from around the country come and play, but good thing you went because they're done.
I know.
They lost. It's over.
It was meant to be.
Elmira moves on to face, I think, Jamestown now, and I think it would be the best of three series and before the Western Division Finals. But a good season for Geneva.
Yes.
And they'll be back next year along with Newark next June. So another thing that happened last night was Boeheim's Army played in the basketball tournament semifinals. That's a summer league basketball tournament, and Boeheim's Army is made up of former Syracuse Orange players. That you know, and well, some of them I wasn't a big fan of. Like Dante Green, I never liked him, and I thought I'd be done with him. He went pro after 1 year, and I never liked him, and here he is playing again like an idiot out there. They got killed. Oh, no, they didn't get killed. It was 81-77, but they were coming from behind most of the game, and so the Dream ends. Winner of that tournament gets $2 million. This Boeheim Army team, even though they made it to the Final Four, gets $0. Yeah. So there's like 10 guys on the team, including the coach. That's $200,000 each. Yeah. So they had something to play for.
Chunk of money. Yep.
So we'll see what they reload with next year. But it's pretty cool for Syracuse basketball fans to watch that in the summer. But again, it's done. They're over. They lost. Yankees are in Cleveland Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 7:10, and Sunday at 1:10. Mets are home against the Dodgers on Friday at 7:10, Saturday at 4:05, and Sunday night at 8:08. And finally, the Canal Cup is Sunday at Silver Creek. Seneca Falls Country Club versus Silver Creek. Josh plays for Silver Creek. I play for Seneca Falls. And,
boy.
And the match is on again. Silver Creek will attempt to get their first victory in 13 attempts.
Yeah. We will attempt. We will make an effort. That's for sure.
Do I need to come play golf ref between you two?
Hey, come spectate it. Sunday, tee off at 11 and probably get over around what? We're not even sure the format yet, but it's a fun way to get together with those guys. It's 2 golf courses here in Waterloo and Seneca Falls here in northern Seneca County that everybody plays at. So it's something we look forward to every year. Last year it was at Seneca Falls. This year it's at Silver Creek. So it'll be fun for sure.
Nice.
So that's it. Busy sports, right?
Yeah.
Really busy sports.
For sure. That's good. So it's supposed to look like good weather for you guys then. 30% chance of rain, but not too bad.
Yeah, so far so good. 70% chance of no rain.
Oh, we'll play
That's
whether
right.
it rains or not.
Yeah.
As long as it's not thundering.
Right.
We will be out there.
And a lot of these things, the percent chances of rain this weekend are passing thunderstorms that are going to be hit or miss and nothing too major once you get past Friday. Thursday is and Friday are going to be a wake up call for us around here. We thought we were done with the rain. We're not. I just hope it doesn't hit too hard because we really have dried out nicely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
good. All right. Well, good luck to you both.
Yeah. What do you got planned this weekend? Anything fun?
No, just football. Colby started football, so football.
High
every
school
day
football
week.
practices are starting up again. I bet you this coming week. And we really are moving through summer faster than I can ever remember. Maybe it's because I get older.
I was going to say the high school fall sports, all the teams start practicing within like a week or two, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
But
soccer,
if I'm 45 years
football.
old, 1 year is 1/45th. When I was 10, it was 1/10 of my life. So it's called the something time. There's a word for it, the parabolic time perception effect or something like that. But the older you get, the faster time goes, unfortunately.
Oh.
So on that note,
on that happy note,
us out of here,
everyone
Jess.
Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the Finger Lake.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you'd like to drop us a line, send an email to contact@fingerlakes1.com. If you enjoy the show, click like, subscribe, and share with your friends. We'll be back next Wednesday afternoon for another episode of FLX Weekly. Whatever your plans, we hope you get out and enjoy your summer in the Finger Lakes. Bye-bye.
See you.